Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Liz and today's video is the third year of, I guess we'll call it just my seasonal decoration video, but there's so much more to it this year because we did some baking. As you can see here, I actually made pasta sauce. That's where we're going to start. I showed you the decorations, we wrapped a gift. So we're going to start with the pasta sauce and I'll actually put some timestamps below if you want to skip to anything in particular because yeah, we did a lot today. So yeah, we will start with some sauce. So that's how the onion turns out in the food processor. Usually I would chop it, but I did this last time and it just saved a lot of time and I liked it because it makes it really fine and it sort of just like melts into the sauce. I mean, it doesn't melt, but last time I did this and yeah, it was really good. So this is about a full onion and my eyes are watering. Okay, so I've got my pot and I just eyeball everything, so I am quite generous with the olive oil. So I don't know how much olive oil that was. I'm pretty generous with it, but I just added that to the pot. I'm going to bring this up, to a high heat to get it all nice and warm. Add the onions in it. I'll reduce the heat a little bit. I'll let those simmer. I like the onions to sort of, get nice and translucent, and then I'll add the garlic. I don't add the garlic in immediately just because the garlic does tend to burn a little easier. And then I'll add a little bit of tomato paste. I don't add the full can, probably about half. I can freeze the rest. And this is really nice to put in with the garlic and onion. It just really has a nice deep tomato flavor when you add this. So you can see how fine the food processor made the onion. Like, it's really, really fine. So yeah, that's coming up to heat. I'm going to lower that shortly. I'm just going to give this a little stir. So this is actually a potato masher. I'm using this because I really like this with the San Marzano tomatoes. It sort of gives it a little, I don't know, it's just you can push on the tomatoes a little bit. But yeah, I'm just going to get these onions nice and translucent. They won't take long. You definitely don't want to leave this without watching it. I did lower the heat to medium, but you definitely want to keep an eye on this because they're so fine as well, they're not going to take long. And this is a full onion. You definitely don't have to add a full onion. I just like onion. Half an onion would probably be fine, or no onion. I just really like onion. See, I almost burnt it just because I went to go chop the garlic. So I just gave these, this is about 4 or 5 garlic cloves. I just gave them a rough chop because they will soften up in the sauce. And as soon as you add that garlic to the onion, the smell is amazing. And again, you don't have to add garlic. I mean, I don't know. I love garlic. So to me, it's an important ingredient, but you can make it your own. I'm just showing you what I do, maybe to inspire you. I know it's weird that I'm using a potato masher, but this just always works for me. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that for just a minute or so. I did bring down the heat to raise it up a little bit there. It's just below medium heat. Now, you do want to watch garlic because it does burn fairly easily. So just let that sit for a minute, keeping an eye on it, and then I'm going to add about half a can of this tomato paste. This is a 156 milliliter or 5.5 fluid ounce can. And this is nice because when you cook it with the garlic and onion, it just deepens that flavor. Okay, so I went ahead and added the tomato paste. Again, you don't have to do it this way. This is just how I like to do it. And I just give that a good stir in. And then just let that hang out a little bit in there. And already everything is smelling good. So as soon as you add your other ingredients and your spices, it's just awesome. You could also add probably sausage at this point if you wanted to. And of course, you could also make meatballs and then add them to the sauce. Of course, if you're adding meat, though, you do want to let it fully cook, you know, while you don't want to taste it while the meat's in there. So yeah, this is just the onion, garlic, and tomato paste. Just give that another minute or so. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to add my other ingredients. So that was the most work. That part takes the most work. The rest of it is just pouring in your other ingredients. So here I have a can of San Marzano tomatoes. You don't have to use these, I just really like them. And this is why I use the little masher, because I don't mash these completely, but as you can see, there's little tomatoes in there. And this is just nice to sort of, you know, just soften them a little bit. So that's 1 can of the San Marzano tomatoes. I've got 1 can of crushed tomatoes. And then 1 large can of tomato juice. It seems like a lot of tomato juice, but it's not. Some of this will, you know, it'll cook down. So, you know, it's really not a lot. So you can see those tomatoes in there. And right now this doesn't taste like much. It just tastes like canned tomatoes. But as the sauce sits, I like to cook mine for about 4 hours. That's when the flavors come out. But you need spices, of course. So I'll show you the spices that I use. Okay, so for spices, I've got oregano. And you're just shaking. A good shake, be generous. Use your intuition. There. Some people don't like to add the oregano and basil until later. I don't mind it. I don't find it, I have a problem with it, but I've got the basil. I don't have much pepper left, but some pepper. I'm gonna put this in my hand first. Just get a little sprinkle there. Garlic too. A little bit of onion powder. I don't add as much of that as the garlic. I'm going to add a bay leaf. A little bit of salt. Okay, I just added about a teaspoon of sugar, but I dropped the camera, so I don't know what it caught. And then the secret ingredient is allspice. And I just give this a few good shakes, not a lot, just a little bit. I'll show you what that looks like. So there's our spices. I'm gonna stir that in. And in a little while, I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese right to the sauce. Now I've tried many tomato sauces. My mom's been making tomato sauce since forever, but you know, you could add wine to it if you want. Lots of different ways to make it. Everyone has their own traditions, so whatever you like. This is a really good sauce that we have landed on here, and we both really love it. So that's good for spices. Now this has got to cook and simmer for like 4 hours. Soon I'll add some Parmesan, probably in about an hour. It just tastes really good. I'll show you how much I add when we get there. It always upsets me how Kevin doesn't get to taste his macaroni and cheese. Like, he makes this nice dinner. Oh no. Okay. Purposely didn't wipe that up prior, because sometimes when you're making sauce, there's a mess. Okay, so this is the point. This has been cooking for about 2 hours, actually. It's been simmering. I just lowered the heat, but you're going to want to keep stirring that. Don't forget about it. But this is just Parmesan cheese, just from the shaker bottle. I like this parm, but you know, if you prefer like to grate it yourself, that is great as well. But I just really like the flavor of this, so I'm pretty generous with this. Of course, I like to add some more to the pasta later, but that's good, I think. Just a nice little sprinkling of it, and then I'll stir that in. Okay, so I have this little half teaspoon measuring spoon to taste this. I've already tasted it once or twice. So far, so good. Closer to the end, I might make some adjustments, add a little bit more, but very good. Very good. Yeah, it still has about 2 more hours to cook, but yeah, it's delicious so far. And the pasta is all ready. It's really, really, really good. Definitely recommend this sauce. Look at these little mice I found. I'm obsessed. So I get carried away with things. My whole plan was to like have an entire community of mice, and I want to find more. But these are the 2 I found so far. And then I bought them this little sleigh, and I was going to put a little tree in there. They have a little gift there, but I like the way they stand. Let me show you. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Like their little legs. Oh no. Like what? Okay, so this is actually a few days after the previous footage. I'm just going to insert this footage right here. But my mom dropped off some decorations, and I'm going to show you everything that she dropped off before I put everything where it's going to go. And I totally get it, because she's basically feeling like it's just too much. It's too much to put out every year, and I totally understand, because we accumulate things over the years and then it just becomes too much, right? So she went through a few things and decided to just simplify, and some of what she let go of, she knows that I would love, especially this. This is like a treasure here. So she put it in this box. I have to be careful with the tissue paper because I have candles going, but this is something that I remember just staring at when I was young, and I would rearrange these little presents. I'll show you what it is, but this has so many memories. This might be my new favorite holiday decor piece, honestly. It's very heavy, as I'm sure you can hear. Let me just... So I do have to repair it, but that's okay. There was a few things I had to fix this year of my own stuff, so. Okay. So yeah, I would pretty much play with this all the time. I would include my dolls with it, and I remember like rearranging the little presents constantly. So I would always play with it and put different things in there and rearrange the presents. So yeah, this has a lot of memories for me, and I cannot wait to put it out. As soon as she offered me this, I was like, yes, because I love it so much. So yeah, this is the new piece. So I have to figure out where all this stuff is going to go. Okay, so this is the other thing that my mom dropped off, and this video is turning out to be a lot. There's a lot I include in the holiday videos, but this one especially, because I've got all this stuff to show you. We made the sauce. I've got a dessert still to show you, the wrapping center. We went through the village that's coming up, and then all of the decorations. But this is little box of little knickknacks that my mom used to put out and then decided this year not to. So she knows that this fits right in with my decor. This is kind of a cool item. I've never really seen anything like this before. And on the bottom it says, "To Greg, 1999. It's made of wood, and it's just little Santas. I think they're skiing or just walking, but yeah, kind of a cool thing. And then we have, oh, Mrs. Claus. So now I think this is my second Mrs. Claus ornament. So on the vintage tree that I'll show you, that's another thing I have to show you, is the vintage tree. This video is going to be like an hour long, but on that tree I have another little vintage Mrs. Claus, and I also have a Santa. So this one I can add. This looks really vintage. This is like a felt material. It's got little beads, little tiny glasses. Okay, and then this is kind of a cool thing. These are like little cookie decorations, and this packaging, to me, if I were to guess, this looks like 70s or 80s, although I'm not really sure. So if you happen to be like a spice expert, maybe you know, but this packaging looks pretty vintage. So I definitely wouldn't want to eat these, but they make a cool little decor piece. These are the kind of things that are fun to just put in a display. Like if you're displaying several little things, this kind of thing is cute. And then there's some more spices. So this this brand is still in business, but the packaging is very different. So this is the tin. I just think these look really cool, and I've seen people craft with these. Like they stick little figures and little sticks and things to sort of make a little centerpiece. So this is allspice. And then there's nutmeg. $2.43 for nutmeg. Okay, this looks like a little ornament. And this fits right in. Like this will really look cute in the cabinet that I'm going to show you. I could put it on the tree, but I think I want to stand it up in the cabinet. So there's that. And we have another little figurine. If you know anything about these vintage figurines, like the date of them, my guess with this would be 60s. But honestly, that's just a guess. I really have no clue when these things are from. A lot of them look like 50s, 60s. And then there's a few things like, I feel like this would be from the 80s. I don't know though. Could be earlier than that. I don't know. Then there's this little Santa, and my mom put some toothpicks in there. That would look cute if you were serving appetizers. You could just set this with the appetizers. There's a little snowman. It's not an ornament because it doesn't have a thing to hang it up with, but you could just set this in a scene or craft with it. Wait till you see the cabinet this year. I put tons of stuff in there. And then these are actually two little elves that I gave my mom that she returned to me. So now I have all four because there was 4 of them. And yeah, these would be fun for crafting. I just have them set up in like a little snowy scene. So yeah, those are really cute too. So I'm going to put this stuff in the cabinet, and then yeah, we'll move on. I think it's the wrapping center next. Oh yeah, this is like a few days after that footage, but then we're going to go back in time now to when I recorded. I don't know, it's all it's all confusing. But that sauce, by the way, we already ate it. The entire pot of sauce is gone. So yeah, it was good. I ended up adding more spices, by the way, which I'll mention. But anyways, yeah, let's jump to the wrapping center. I'm going to wrap this box of chocolates. I know a lot of people find wrapping relaxing. I definitely do. So I figured I would include this just because I've got my wrapping stuff out. But this is all stuff that I've collected. Last year, Michael's had a sale right after Christmas, and they had this like vintage inspired wrapping. So I've got all sorts of gift bags and things. This is a really cool vintage wrapping paper I'm going to use. We've got bows. Lots of different things. I probably should have organized this better and then shown you, but this works. These are for gift cards. Lots of tape. These are some things nieces and nephews have made me. What would go good with this? This is so nice. This one looks like very vintage. I think I'll use, I think the green would look really nice. Yeah, I think green. I don't know though, the red looks really pretty. I think the green pops more though. Yeah, we'll use green. Okay, so I'm ready to wrap the chocolates. You know, if you ever just, like if someone stops by or something like that, it's kind of nice. And I could also eat them as well. I'm a huge fan of like wrapping things for yourself. So if you want to wrap something for yourself, definitely do that. Let's wrap this. Okay, so I wanted to give you my review of this because I've never had one of these before. And this is by Hershey's, not sponsored by Hershey's or Clubhouse Seasonings. But yeah, it's got mini marshmallows in it. And this chocolate, it smells so good. You can hear the marshmallows in there. Okay, so I'm going to heat up some milk. So it says a cup. So I'm just going to eyeball. This is a giant mug though, so I don't, like, this could be over a cup. Call that a cup. I'm gonna heat this up in the microwave. Okay, the time has come. Ready. Ugh. Do something. Do I just wait? Pour 1 cup of warm milk into mug. Okay, all right. The mug. Okay, well, I can't follow instructions. The chocolate was supposed to go in first, and then the warm milk. Okay, all right. I think it's. Come on. Oh, something's. Oh, something happened. Oh. This isn't looking much like hot chocolate yet, but I have faith. I have faith. I actually have more of these little mini marshmallows. I don't think I did this right. Like, how did I manage to not do this right? I'm gonna taste it. Let's see what happens. It tastes like milk. It tastes like exactly what it is. It tastes like milk with some Hershey's chocolate in there. So I guess that's the point. I might add some more hot chocolate powder. I don't know. Let me experiment with this and see what I can do. Okay, so it's a different day and I tried again. The problem was I didn't heat up the milk nearly enough. So that's why it didn't work. The other thing I did is I added more of the hot chocolate powder. So it's the Hershey's ball plus a little bit of that and then extra marshmallows, and I actually heated it up. So this is good. This is like the hot chocolate from the movie The Santa Claus. This is good. All right, this was the item I was most excited about this year. This is a vintage aluminum sparkler that we found up in the attic. So basically what happened was I was ready, I was in bed, and my partner came into the room. He had been in the attic to fix something, and he was just like, oh, there's old skis, there's a couple of chairs, just a bunch of junk up there. And he's like, there's an old Christmas tree. And immediately I was like, is it silver? And he was like, yeah, I think it is. So we went up into the attic at like 11 p.m. and got this, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it had been up there for so long, because this is like my dream tree, and we live in his grandparents' old house. So we keep finding these treasures. And I mean, this 10 years it's been up there right above the bathroom. And what I love about it is it's a really great way to display all of the vintage ornaments that I find at yard sales. So it's just so cool. We love it. I don't even know if they ever used it. Everything was completely packaged up. Like, all of the little pieces to this tree were individually wrapped in paper. So yeah, this was a really cool find. It felt like finding a treasure. And yeah, that means every time I peed for 10 years, it was right above my head, because it was right above the bathroom. So it just goes to show, I don't know what the moral of the story is, but yeah, we're really happy to have this. So here is the other tree. And this is the one we've had for quite a few years. I put new lights on it last year. And a few of these pieces on here are sentimental. I actually managed to find one ornament that both of us remember from childhood on Etsy, so that was really exciting, because I looked for a few years for that. But yeah, this is our tree. I'm actually, I'm on the floor right now to show you this stuff, but these are a few things I just keep under the tree. So we've got our elf there. I know a lot of people love their elf on a shelf. And then Susie, that's a bear that my great-grandmother had. And then there's some wish books. In that box there, I keep old Christmas cards and then just pictures and things, different memories. And there's a little tin that I just thought was cute, and then a little sled with some bears, and then I spilled a bunch of napkins. Okay, so if you've seen my decoration tours, a lot of the things that I have is actually the same. So this is the 3rd year I think I've filmed this. So it's a lot of the same stuff, just different ways of displaying it. And a few new things, you know, here and there. But if you've never put a mattress in the middle of the living room, I can't recommend it strongly enough. It is the coziest thing. You know, it's just the two of us, so it's nice sometimes because this is just like a pit of coziness. It's nice for watching movies. It's just really relaxing. I think this is our 3rd Christmas having a mattress in the living room. Usually we wait a little bit closer to Christmas, but I don't know, it's just really relaxing. And then here's our stockings. And there's just like some books and magazines. And then this is my little Coca-Cola musical little truck. I love it. My dad worked for Coca-Cola. He passed away when I was 6. And so, you know, I don't have as many memories as I would like, but one of the things I remember is just, well, just the connection to him and Coca-Cola. So, yeah, anytime I see a Coca-Cola truck, it just makes me very happy. Cozy little chair. This was from my Auntie Carol. There's Santa. And this is a bunch of laundry that I pushed to the side, which is a point I wanted to make because when I was setting up for this video, there was laundry everywhere. I had like 3 days worth of dishes, and this year I'm just feeling overwhelmed. I'm just got a lot going on. So what I've showed you today in this video are the things that I like to focus on, things that make me feel cozy. And I wanted to highlight this because every year I push this stuff to the side right off camera, and I think that's pretty common, and I think it's an important thing to remember, especially, you know, social media. Everything always just appears so organized and put together and perfect and tidy, but I mean, I know there's people that really do love to organize and are able to keep things neat. I've just never been able to, so I'm very inspired by those people. I'm just not always the most organized, you know, if I'm overwhelmed. And I think it's an important point because this time of year we put extra pressure on ourselves, and you know, maybe you have children, maybe you're anxious, maybe you just got a lot going on, maybe you're overwhelmed. You know, I think maybe it's okay that not everything looks perfect, or we haven't finished everything, or there's a bunch of laundry to do. So I just wanted to show this because for most of my holiday decor videos that I've filmed, this has been right off camera. This is just the first year I've shown it. So on this wooden chair in the corner, I have this Santa that my Auntie Lori and Uncle Steven got for me. Auntie, if you're watching, thank you so much. I love this Santa. I got this I was probably 12 years old. And I'm in my 30s now, so I've had this for many years. And then this is like a little furry, little snow. I don't even know what it's supposed to be, but it's really cute. A little snow whimsical creature of some kind. It's got a little bell, and it just, I don't know, I think it's cute. So I've been wanting a Nutcracker all my life. I found this in a gift shop, and immediately I knew it was the one. And my cousin actually went out immediately after and got the same one. Speaking of nuts, I've got some walnuts here, and then these orange slices, which I actually have to put away, but I actually like the way they look in there. So this thing is fascinating. Another item I've had since childhood. And this always was my favorite thing to put together. Now I've got 2 little tea lights sort of stacked on top of each other. I probably only needed to use one, but but I was trying to get the flame a little bit higher up, but I don't think I needed to. Basically, it just works through the heat. I don't know exactly how, but I mean, as a child, this is magical. So another one of my favorite things. So we'll start up here. So this figure, I found 2 of them in the basement. So this house, we still find treasures. Like, we just found the aluminum tree in the attic last year. So we found these in a box downstairs. Probably, I mean, these were found many years ago, but it's still kind of cool that we just found the tree. You know, it's like finding treasure here. And these are items that I had growing up that came in Happy Meals. There's the little Polly Pockets. This is a bracelet that I can still remember wearing to school. I remember looking down at my wrist and seeing these little Santas. And then here's another Polly Pocket. And if you spin the bottom, she just dances around. So I like, I mean, I don't even know how to describe my style, holiday style. Just things that make me happy and nostalgic, I think, would be the best way. So then there's a Santa blow mold, and then that sign is just made to look vintage. It's made out of wood. There's some vintage ornaments. All of this stuff I find at yard sales. Yard sales and thrift stores, sometimes antique shops. There's another little light here. I didn't plug them in, and then this is my gingerbread necklace from when I was small. Love that. I'm really thankful to my mom for keeping these things because I wouldn't have safely kept these. I lose things. I'm not organized. My mom is extremely organized. So she thankfully held on to a lot of these memories. We didn't keep everything, of course, but yeah, the things she kept, I'm thankful for because she definitely didn't have to. But she, I don't know, I think she's always known me as a very sentimental person, so she tucked a few things away, so I'm happy she did that. We've got this little Santa. This was a yard sale find. These little boxes are actually what stores the vintage ornaments, and you can just use them as a display. Here I made like a hot chocolate station. But we've got different holiday mugs that I've been collecting these for years. Michael's, I think, a few years ago. This was, I honestly can't remember. But the thing is I've seen these at thrift stores. I just saw this exact mug at the thrift store within the past few months. So if you like this kind of thing, like, that's where I find all of these treasures. That's where I found this container. That's where I found this. All of the jars and things. And this was actually from the dollar store. So I just made like a little hot chocolate bar. There's some candy canes. This one, there's some different like gourmet hot chocolates. This was a really cool find. This was a yard sale, and this one's really vintage. So I just put some of these straws in here. I've been reusing these same straws for decoration for the past few years. I just like the way they look. This is just from the dollar store. It's a chocolate Santa, but I thought it looked kind of vintage. And yeah, there's just different things to make hot chocolate. So this was good, question mark. It was all right. I didn't do it right, that's the problem. And then this little snowman peeps. So I thought that was kind of a fun thing for hot chocolate. I did have my cousin over for a snack night and movie night, and we plan to do that again. So yeah, we had some actually s'mores liqueur that we put in on one of the nights. So yeah, it's just fun to mix up the hot chocolate and add different things. Actually, this item here, actually this is supposed to be here. These are so good. They're the little hard marshmallows, almost like the marshmallows you would get in Lucky Charms. These are delicious, so these are really fun to add. But then of course we've got like those marshmallows and then the peeps. So yeah, just kind of a fun display, and it's interactive. So there's the mice that I'm obsessed with. And then this is really special. I'll show you this. Actually, while that's going, I've got to put this stuff in the display. Let's do that together. Should go right here. I think she should go right there. This can go right there. This I'll put by the tree. Okay, so that brings me down to here with these little elves, so I could put these all together. And so now we have 4. I'll probably make this display different. This year I was just kind of, I guess, more rushed this year, but I think that looks cute, little elves. This is a little reindeer, I think Michael's. This was from Dollarama this year, this really nice tray. And these were the dollar store as well. I just put a candy cane there. And this was a new addition this year. Santa. This was from Michael's. My grandma collected Santas, so I'm finding myself very drawn to Santa decor this year, so that'll go there. This needs to be dusted. And then this is something I got from my grandma this year. So actually it's my cousin's grandma, but she's always been like my grandma. She's my grandma. But she was letting go of a few things as well, and these were broken. The head had came off, I think 2 of them, and then some of the letters were broken, so I repaired them, and they look brand new. And then that is a little teapot. This has like different sections, so there's a spot for sugar, and then I think cream, and then the tea. So there's the other little snowman, and then you already saw this. All right, so this is my very first Christmas village. And if you want to see this village in depth, definitely check out the village video. I'll link below, because this year Lemax sent over 6 buildings as well as lots of different accessory pieces for me to put this village together and share these pieces with you. And it was so much fun. Most of you know I love Lemax. I've been collecting Lemax for years. I love my Halloween village, but it was kind of fun to put together a different style of village. This one's really warm and cozy. Definitely, if you watch that video, you'll want to shrink down and live in this village, because we really do sort of like a walking tour. We shrink right down and walk through the village. And yeah, I just can't thank Lemax enough for sharing these pieces. That was really special because I've been such a huge fan of Lemax for so many years. So I don't know, that was just, this was so much fun unboxing these pieces and reviewing them. I love, this is one of my favorite hobbies right here. And I can't wait to expand now on my Christmas village. So let's start. This is the Santa's Chalet. This piece is really cool. It's part of the Sights and Sounds collection. And as you can see, it's kind of hard to see here, but there's actual functioning chimney here, and it works through water. In my other video, like I mentioned, there's going to be more detail, so I show sort of how you make this work. But this piece, I love the windows. You'll notice that's always what I go for, is a window. We had tons of really cute details on this one. I love the little wreaths and the little figurines. There's a little elf hanging out on the roof there. Kind of dangerous. Then we have the Yorkshire pub. This I actually got for my birthday. This is what my boyfriend got me for my birthday. And I love it. I want to go there. I want to go have a drink there. They've got a menu out front, and I love when Lemax does these little signs here. Sorry, I'm knocking stuff over. Again, the other video is a little bit more in depth because we actually shrink down and walk through the village. It's very cozy. We'll just leave that. We'll just leave that over. But some of these pieces I added actually afterwards. So this little sleigh was from a yard sale. I actually bought a few of these, and I was going to use them as like place card holders, but I never did, so it fits here. And some of these little figurines are things that I had for years, like this little person with the pipe holding the gifts, that one there. But Lemax did send a lot of accessory pieces, so I love this family here decorating the tree. Got some skaters there going to the rink. I don't know where she's going, but I'll show you that one in a minute. This one is super cool. This was my favorite one though, right here. The Tall Tale bookshop, Attic Treasures, Antiques. This just looks like somewhere I want to spend an entire day. There's a little bookstore, window, favorite thing. And what I love about it was just the details. Like there's lots of like woodworking and little images, little cute picture of some witches on the side. So I love that. Yeah, it's just really cool. The details of this piece, the colors, and this just the shape of it, everything about this building. This was my absolute favorite. But I mean, look at this. This is the Christmas Grove skating rink. This is part of the Sights and Sounds collection. my cousin was over the other day and we were looking at stuff, so I probably knocked this one over at one point, so I'll have to put them back. But little musicians there, like, how it's just so cozy. Like, this is the area of town where everyone comes to shop, and this is also where I would like to live. This is a fudge shop, and truly I picked this piece just because I love fudge. I love chocolate. But window, you can see that there, and yeah, just adorable. That was really why I got it, because I just want to go in there and buy some stuff. And then we have this little family here going skating. So I put these two families sort of like they're walking towards the skating rink. This little bench I already had. And then we move up here, and I actually reused the platforms from my Halloween village. This is Johnny's hot chocolate. This was another piece that I got for my birthday. This was a piece that I had. So some of these figurines I already had. I just added them afterwards, like that little telephone little area there. And this one's really cool. This is the Noel's Christmas shops. And what I love about this is called a facade, and Lemax has quite a few of these actually, and they're made to look like several shops. They look like inside it looks like it goes on forever, but the back is flat, so you could actually put this inside of a wreath. You could hang it right on the wall. You could also line several up to sort of look like, you know, an entire street of different shops. But this one has tons of details, and I like this one too because you're getting several different shops. It has really cool lighting effects and the windows and the wine bar, so very cute. And then I also got this little cafe. This is the Hilltop Cafe. I liked the little area inside there. But like I said, if you want to like walk around in this village, check out that video below because it was one of my favorites this year. And this little mailbox I picked up at Michael's. This was a piece Lemax sent over to try out. Love that. Oh, where our little, there we go. And then you have the little cute little snowman here. This was a piece I added, as well as this piece and this one here. This one was sent to me this year from Lemax. This one is called Gifts for the Grandchildren. And then there's the trees. And then this I actually just picked up at a seasonal decor store. And I thought that would make kind of a cool backdrop. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this year's holiday video. This is all the things I put in the kitchen, so I just displayed it here. And I wanted to finish off with a dessert recipe. This is actually based off of a really popular recipe. You've probably heard of it. It's the Oreo cream cheese truffle recipe. Delicious. The only thing that makes this different is we use the fudge covered Oreos and the fudge covered Nutter Butters. So I will list the ingredients that I used below. I made two kinds. So I made the Oreo kind, and then I tried one with Nutter Butters, and that one had the cream cheese, the peanut butter, and the cookies. And it's so easy. I mean, you just basically add those 2 or 3 ingredients into the food processor. You roll it into balls, and then you dip it in melted chocolate into the freezer, and they taste like exactly like cheesecake. We thought that the Nutter Butter one tasted like peanut butter fudge cheesecake, and I think that these would also make a really nice gift too if you put them in a nice little tin. But yeah, delicious. So I'll list that below, but they're really easy to make. I mean, the Oreo one was only 3 ingredients, and the Nutter Butter one was 4 ingredients. So you really can't get easier than that for holiday baking. So I really hope you enjoy. There was so much more I wanted to put in this video, but it truly would have been like an hour and a half long. So that's why I'm showing all of the Christmas decor here. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear what you think down below in the comments. These videos I love doing seasonal decor videos. I love my readings. I love doing the readings, but anything holiday decor just makes me extra happy. So I really hope that you enjoyed, and we will see you later.